Hello, friends. Welcome back to our series on diabetes and low carb. I'm your host, Dhanashree. So, in the last episode of this series, we started our discussion on obesity. In today's episode, we are going to discuss the various aspects that one need to consider during the weight loss journey. We are also going to provide some tools and tips that if you really incorporate in your lifestyle, that would definitely help you with your weight loss. But before we get into the today's discussion, I think it's very important for me to mention few basics that we have discussed in the previous episodes. But I really encourage you to go through all of those episodes that we have already done as a part of this series, that is the low diabetes and low carb. So, in the last episode, we started with the definition of obesity. So, what obesity is? Obesity is actually the storage of excess energy that you are feeding to your body in terms of carbohydrates and fat as a fat in your fat cells. But this in reality is not a problematic condition because the excess energy meant to be stored somewhere. Otherwise, it can harm your body with energy toxicity. So its mechanism of the fat storage is set by the nature to protect you from energy toxicity. But this fat, which is stored in your fat cells as a fat, is meant to be used by your body at the time of non-availability of food. But our today's lifestyle, or I would say our comfort lifestyle and the easily availability of food, we tend to eat after 2 hours. Almost all of us eat each 2 hours. So this is the reason that we are not using our storage, and gradually what happens, your fat stores start to fill up. Once they fill up, they resist the excess energy which is coming to your body. Now, when the fat cells start to resist that excess energy, now the problems related with the obesity come into picture, like diabetes, hypertension, PCOS, and even the cardiovascular disease. Now, let me just tell you very briefly why you are not storing that fat stored in your fat cells. Basically, our main component of food is carbohydrates. So whenever we eat carbohydrates, our blood sugar rises. And to normalize that blood sugar, the pancreas releases a hormone called insulin. Insulin helps your muscles, the cells of your muscles, your liver, to uptake that glucose from the blood and store it as a glycogen. Okay, and at the same time, insulin doesn't only normalize the blood sugar, but it does many other things. It is a main fat storing hormone. It's not only a fat storing hormone, but what does it do? It locks your fat in your fat cells. So until your insulin hormone levels are elevated, you will never be able to access that fat which is stored in your fat cells. So it's like a lock. It put a lock on your fat cells. Okay, this is a reason that after each and every 2 hours, you tend to look for something to eat because you feel hungry, because your this insulin, the elevated levels of insulin, it doesn't let you use that stored fat in your fat cells as a fuel source to produce energy for you. So it's an imbalance of hormones that leads to obesity. It's the imbalance of insulin hormone that leads to overeating. So overeating is not the cause of obesity. It's the imbalance of hormone that leads to overeating, which leads to obesity. So the today's discussion will focus, all the factors that we are going to discuss today will focus how to balance your hormones. So if you balance your hormones, it will be very easy for you to maintain your weight and your health. So with this, I'm going to start my discussion today with the experts from D-Life. Anup Singh, who is the founder of D-Life, Arun Kumar, Shashikant Iyengar, all of them, they are the low carb advisor at D-Life, and they are helping many people not only shed their weight, but the different, issues, the other metabolic disorders like diabetes, hypertension, PCOS. We are helping many people around the world to manage their health. So I welcome all of them to your show. Welcome Anup Singh, welcome Arun Kumar, welcome Shashi.
Thank you,
Thank
Jasmeet.
you,
Thank you.
Jasmeet.
So I think I should start my first question with the uh, Okay, as I mentioned that in our previous episode, we mentioned about insulin hormone. That is, it is the insulin resistance that lead to obesity. Okay, so please, Shashi ji, please आप ये बताएं कि जैसे there are various diets. As I mentioned, it's due is the energy toxicity, which is carbohydrates and fat. अब इन दोनों चीजों को लेके दो मेन डाइट आती हैं. One is low carb because हमें एनर्जी को कम करना है. We need to reduce the energy. One is low carb and another is low fat. So please explain with what you will go. Either it is low carb or low fat, which can help us balance our hormones and help us with the obesity.
Yeah, Jasmine, thank you. So when we say energy, carbohydrate and fat, both are actually energy. And an overload of both actually can cause what is called as energy toxicity, or even overload of a single can cause. But the issue is, like, let us take what is called as a low fat diet. Issue is when we switch to low fat diet, usually it is high carbohydrate, and usually it is also a medium or a lower protein. And then what will happen is these satiety signals do not fall in, and then we'll start actually overeating. So we have seen world over that the low fat diet just does not work. And in fact, there are a lot of people on low fat diet who suffer from diabetes. And paradoxically, if you see, they also suffer from gallstones. So there is no reason, if they have been on low fat diet, why should they suffer from gallstone? What is blamed on gallstones are, they say that it is filled with fat, it is filled with cholesterol. So if any person is on low fat or literally it is in no cholesterol diet, why they should suffer from gallstone issues? So that's how it is happening. But when people actually adopt what is called as a low carbohydrate and higher fat diet, so then when we say higher fat, there are also what is called as a medium to higher protein diet, and then satiety signal just steps in, and then we will just stop overeating, and that is the time that the body stored fat also comes out, and we don't tend to overeat at all usually, that I'll say, with few, there may be 1% exception, but usually when we go on a high fat diet, what is called as high fat low carb, satiety signal very strongly comes in, and we will not overeat, and everything gets balanced. Your entire hormones, your insulin, ghrelin, leptin, glucagon, and hence we find a good resolution to obesity with the high carb diet as opposed to low carb diet. So if low carb, low fat diet, and if low fat diet was such a great thing, then world over will not be suffering from obesity at all. So I think this perspective needs to come in, and we need to shift to higher fat and lower carb diet. Yeah.
Basically, it is a satiety. So low carb, high fat gives us more satiety, so we never overeat. So this is the main thing. So okay, Arun Kumar, could you please comment on a little bit about how this low carb can help us balance our hormones?
Thank you, Jasmine. Actually, when you are eating high carb, then you are disturbing many of the hormones. First of all is the leptin. The leptin is a satiated hormone. Of course, it is secreted peripherally, but it controls the central nervous system, and that gives a signal that, okay, we have eaten enough, now don't need to eat further. So that gives a satiety hormone. But when you are taking high carb diet, it disturbs the gene leptin, which is responsible for the leptin hormone secretion. So if that is disturbed, then you will not feel satiety and you will continue to eat and eat and eat. So that causing the obesity and that causing the energy toxicity. Now comes to why low carb, right? Clear why low carb. But when you are on low carb, you need calorie, you need energy to function your body. So in that case, fat is the only source of energy available to you, which will give you sufficient energy with very low. I mean, because 1 gram of fat is giving you, say, 9 kilocalorie of your energy. So that is much higher than the carbohydrate. So even in the lower quantity of fat will give you satisfaction, you will feel full instead of the carbohydrate. So this is first. Second thing, as Shashi is also mentioned, that when you are eating more and more carbohydrate, the persons who are eating carbohydrate, they will feel hungry after 2 hours or 3 hours again. Again, they will go for the high carb diet. That high carb diet will convert into glucose in the body, and which for glucose, the beta cells has to go further to secrete the insulin. And as you told, the insulin is the hormone, which is very critical hormone though, but it is fat making and fat storing hormone. So once your adipose tissue is full of the fat, now they don't have further capacity to store fat. So those fat will be in the visceral fat and in the around the liver, around the pancreas, and other visceral organs. Fat will deposit there. So that's why you feel the central obesity in those persons. So that's why low carb and high fat is better option than you compared to the high carb and low fat. It is a misconception that fat we are eating is stored as a fat in our body. No, when you are taking low carb, your body will switch. That is called the metabolic switch. It switches from burning glucose to burning fat. Once you are burning fat, so your body will run on the fat. That is called the ketones. So run on the fat, and there it comes that high fat diet will give you sufficient energy even in the lower quantity. Suppose you are taking 100 gram of carbohydrate, it will give you 400 kilocalorie. And if you are taking 100 gram of fat, it will give you 900 kilocalorie. So it is much more better to switch over to the low carb, high fat diet, which will reduce your obesity, which will increase the satiety, and you'll feel full, feel energetic. It has been seen that those who are athletics or those who are engaged in the physical activity more, if they are on the high fat diet, so their high fat diet will work better, and their their physical ability to do activities and exercise or intense exercise will be much more than the high carb diet. Thank you, Justin.
So basically, satiety is important. And for satiety, you mentioned the hormone leptin. And for the viewers, let me just tell you that leptin is your satiety hormone. So if you are, as per the experts, if you are on low carb, high fat diet, your leptin response will not let you eat more, not let you overeat. But in the high carb, low fat diet, you will not get the leptin response and you overeat. So that is the reason you eat after every 2 hours, because your nervous system, it doesn't see, because there is leptin resistance developed due to overeating, because I think leptin and insulin, they both are interconnected.
Yeah.
So due to which you also develop, in addition to the insulin resistance, you also develop leptin resistance. So Anup Singh, would you like to add something to this?
No, that's all. That's all covers.
Okay, thank you so much. So my next question is to you. So like I have seen that there are many studies that shows that the growth hormone is also one of the major hormone that helps to reduce weight. Is there something related with the growth hormone? Does it also help to balance our insulin? How is it related? Because there are many studies that shows that people are even taking growth hormones to lose weight.
Yes, as you said, there are studies. Now, there is a study that the amount of growth hormones secreted is also related to your central obesity. So, the more fat in the belly that you carry, obviously your growth hormone secretion will be less. So, losing belly fat is most important from HGH, HGH, I'm using a short form.
Yeah.
HGH increase. Okay. Now, there are other many, factors which control it. We will not talk about the supplements used for increasing growth hormone. Primarily, we will look at the lifestyle changes. Okay. Now, as we go to sleep, even during sleep in the night, HGH is released. Now, the release of HGH will also depend on when you had your last meal before going to bed. So let's say, just 5 minutes before you had something you ate, and then you are going to sleep. So in that case, the HGH release will be less as compared to if, let's say, you are going to bed with all digestion over. इसीलिए आयुर्वेदा में बोलते हैं ना कि आप सोने के पहले 2 घंटे पहले कुछ मत खाओ, ठीक है. देर आर साइंटिफिक रीजंस. ओके, बैक देन इट वाज नॉट साइंटिफिक, वो ऑब्जर्वेशनल था, बट ये है कि आप essentially all digestion activity should be zero when you are hitting bed. एक तो वहां से आपका HGH बढ़ेगा. दूसरा ऑफ कोर्स इज फास्टिंग. ठीक है, आप शायद है मेरे के, आई कैन नॉट रिकॉल द नंबर्स एग्जैक्टली, बट इफ यू आर इनटू 3 days I think fasting, it goes up by 1200% or something, और 1 week fasting जो करते हैं 3 days में it is around 300% increase. Now, the next is, of course, exercising in a fasted state. कि आप उपवास भी कर रहे हो, सुबह जैसे उठे आपने, आप नॉर्मली वी आर हम ब्रंच और डिनर के उस पर जीते हैं सब. तो मॉर्निंग एक्सरसाइज, एम्प्टी स्टमक इन अ फास्टेड स्टेट, दैट इज वन. Then going to sleep empty stomach is another, which will increase. And these two, of course, as belly fat reduces, HGH will go up. Next is quality of sleep. Even that will control the HGH levels. And yes, hyperinsulinemia जो है, that will never allow HGH to go up.
Yeah.
ठीक है, तो वो फिर मैं वही बोलता हूँ, जो बार बार रिपीट करेंगे ना 2-4 शब्द हर ये पूरी सीरीज में, हाइपर इंसुलिनेमिया विल नेवर अलाउ HGH टू गो अप. नाउ साइंटिफिकली आप यही जो बोला कि आप खाली पेट सोने जाओ, मतलब ऑल डाइजेशन इज ओवर. नाउ बॉडी विल डू ऑल इट्स रिपेयर वर्क एंड नॉट एंगेज इन डाइजेस्टिंग द फूड व्हाइल यू आर स्लीपिंग. एक तो ये हो गया. सप्लीमेंट ऑफ कोर्स है, उसमें 5-6 सप्लीमेंट हैं, दैट वी विल नॉट टॉक. एंड बेली फैट जो हम बार बार बोलते हैं, आप टमी कम करो. अब उसका रीजन ये है कि इवन योर HGH सेक्रेशन विल गो अप वंस यू हैव लोअर बेली फैट. तो ये है जिस्ट.
बेसिकली ग्रोथ हार्मोन नेचुरल वे से हम बढ़ाने के लिए कहते हैं कि बेटर कि you can naturally increase the value of your growth hormone by either by intermittent fasting, as you mentioned, and with a good quality sleep.
Yes, fasting, exercise, going to sleep, empty stomach. Primarily these three you can say. And losing belly fat, which happens automatically on
Carb intake.
Yeah, which already happens on low carb. So that is, we are not going to discuss in detail about that. Primarily जो है आपकी good quality sleep. Sleep पे फिर वही आपके जिसकी नहीं है ना, अश्वगंधा, melatonin, all these supplements come in.
Yeah.
And of course, exercising high intensity in a fasted state.
So शशि जी, आप बताएं कि जैसे मिनिमम अगर हमें कुछ फास्टिंग, अगर इंटरमिटेंट फास्टिंग आजकल 16:8 इज फेमस, ठीक है, तो टू रियली सी द इफेक्ट, इज इट सफिशिएंट टू डू 16:8 फास्टिंग डेली, और इससे ज्यादा करना पड़ेगा अगर आपको बहुत ज्यादा वेट रिड्यूस करना है? प्लीज सजेस्ट.
See, I will not recommend anything like once a day meals or something. So I am a big fan of recommending 2 times a day meal.
2 meals a day.
The standard intermittent fasting, whether you do by 16:8 karo ya 12 hour karo, it's okay.
So minimum is 12.
Yeah, the issue is like this is a protein deficient country, and with the typical diet we will go very, very low on protein. And then while initially everything may appear good, we might lose weight, we must be actually losing possibly both fat and lean body mass, which is not good in long term. So with that emphasis, I am all in for 2 meals a day. Maybe we can do, in a month, maybe once or twice we can do some little extended fasting, maybe 36 hours or so. Have the last meal on Saturday, and then the next meal on Monday, skip the entire Sunday. Or similarly, if someone is comfortable, they can do it on the weekdays also. Especially if people are now at work from home, they can have this on any other day. So I have seen personally good results when we do this 36-hour fast. It really works very well. Have the Saturday meal at somewhere around little early, 7:30, and then have it little late on Monday, maybe around lunchtime. It works very well. I mean, not only weight loss, but even blood sugar control is just superb. So anyone finding it very difficult in the
One
initial
should
phase,
first shift to low carb diet.
yeah,
Then start the another things like they can add the intermittent fasting, because and then it would be easy to easily adapt to this fasting regimen. Because
and then when they fast, they are going to store that body fat also.
they
Very
can
nicely.
easily use that stored fat. So,
Yeah.
so viewers,
No
it's
constant.
better that first you shift to the low carb and then gradually add this intermittent fasting. Gradually increase the gap between your dinner and breakfast. Start with the 12-hour fasting as mentioned by Shashiji, and then increase it to 16 hours maximum. Okay.
Yeah. Anup wants to say something.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, live case Jasmeet, abhi forum pe there's that healthcare professional. रिमेंबर अभी 2-3 दिन पहले या एक हफ्ते पहले उसने अपना प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट पोस्ट किया था एंड ही वाज इनटू ही हैज लॉस्ट वेट एंड as Shashi said, you know, long fasting or even more than, you know, 16-8, it will ultimately land into a protein deficiency. तो आपने उसका देखा होगा शायद, all of us have replied, उसका 30 ग्राम प्रोटीन कंजम्पशन पर डे आ गया था बिकॉज ही वाज जस्ट ईटिंग 2 आवर्स अ डे. या ही वाज ईटिंग ओनली, दिन में 2 घंटे खाता था वो. तो इतना एक्सट्रीम पे भी नहीं जाना चाहिए लोगों को. तो दैट इज व्हाई वी सजेस्टेड, यू नो, यू हैव लॉस्ट योर वेट, यू हैव हिट योर टारगेट वेट, इवन इफ यू हैव टू स्विच टू 3 मील्स अ डे बट विद प्रोटीन इन फोकस, इवन दैट विल डू. वो उसमें कोई मतलब कोई मेडल नहीं मिलने वाला कि आपने 36 घंटे 72 घंटे और एक हफ्ते फास्टिंग कर लिया. दैट इज, यू नो, इट इज नॉट वर्केबल. अपना हम लोगों का कहना ये है कि आप ठीक है 2 kg पर मंथ लूज करिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. 1.5 kg लूज करिए.
चीज करनी चाहिए जो आप सस्टेन कर सकते हैं ना, जिस पे आप कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं.
यस,
इट्स नॉट सस्टेनेबल.
आप भूखे रह रहे हो जबरदस्ती और 25 अदर, यू नो, कैरी अदर टेंशंस. देन
या
लिव अ बैलेंस्ड लाइफ. आप 2 मिनिमम 2 पे तो ठीक है. If you have hit your weight and numbers and everything, even if it has to be 3 meals a day, no issue to cover your protein target.
Yeah, even in 8 hours also they can have 3 meals.
Yeah. 30 ग्राम प्रोटीन लीजिए आप हर सिटिंग में, that is fine. Don't do 100 grams protein in one sitting. That is
protein low bus, huh?
Yeah.
Then I think it will be easy.
Yes.
In that case also, the case that you mentioned, the doctor rheumatologist, he was saying that he was doing intense training as well, that still also that he's not gaining any muscles because he's very low on his protein intake.
Yeah, that is the case. That is the case who, you know, that I quoted. Abhi recently post kiya tha usne.
The recommended dietary allowance is 0.8 gram per kg body weight, which is for what is called a survival. And that too, when they say 0.8 gram, it is actually first class protein. It is not those second class protein which is found in plant, sorry to say. But this is something which people don't understand. This is very, very bare minimum. So in at least I very strongly believe that we require at least 1.5 gram per kg body weight of whatever protein you want to take. But at least 70, 75, 80% should be ideally first class. And if you maintain something like 1.5, then it is really good. And otherwise, for us Indians, it is very difficult to go on a higher scale unless those gym goers, they might take multiple shots of whey. Otherwise, it is very difficult for us. Yeah, yes.
Okay, thank you, Shashi.
Actually, Jasmeet, I just want to add one thing, that those who are on the high fat and low carb diet, for them doing intermittent fasting of 15 into 9 or 16 is to 8, or started with the 12 is to 12, is not a big problem because they will not feel hungry in between. I'm doing say 16 is to 8, sometimes 15 is to 9, sometimes 14 to 10. But it is not problem for me because when you eat say 40 gram protein in morning, I mean at the lunchtime, you will not feel hungry till evening. Say that is why that what Sasi is telling. And then along with the fat also. So you will not be hungry at all. So you don't need any further meal. Sasi is telling that what one thing is that once in a week, or what we are generally doing in Hindu mythology also, we are doing Ekadasi fast, that is once in a fortnight for 36 hours. That is good. That is also going to you are going to lose your weight on those fasting, extended fasting of 36 hours. But otherwise, in day-to-day, everyday life, you can just go for the 16:8, or 15:9, or 14:10. That's it. Yes, that's it.
So
And
for
this
low carb,
36 and this 36 hours, I don't recommend every week also. It is just once or twice a month.
No, once in a fortnight.
Yeah.
So see, once in a fortnight. That we are doing the Ekadasi once in a fortnight.
but I
Yeah,
think it's easy only for the low carbers. For high carbs people, it's
Oh.
impossible.
High
Very
carb, it is not possible.
Important first. The first step is always a diet. First change your diet and then you can incorporate this fasting thing.
Correct.
They will be terribly hungry on that entire day fasting. They'll be terribly hungry. And then once they binge on that, they will just go and eat half a dozen or 1 dozen bananas. Let me tell you, this is what generally we see.
Precautions that one
Very
must take during fasting.
That is another problem. People get crazy after breaking the fast.
It's very difficult. See, we all know the kind of hunger we used to face earlier when we were on the standard high carb diet. The hunger which we used to have during lunchtime, dinner time was extreme, but now we don't have. I mean, it is very, very mild, and mild to, let us say, very moderate. It is not hungry, as we say. So it's quite mild in that sense. Yeah, Jasmine.
I think before we go to the next question, we should also, share some of the tips regarding this intermittent fasting, or I would say some precautions that one must take, like dehydration or something that is important, I think.
Yeah, very important.
Salt intake and all things.
See, I think I will put a caution here for those who are suffering from blood pressure. Keeping those aside, the rest of them, especially when they do this little extended fasting, they need to have a lot of salt, a lot of salty tea, salty coffee, salt water, lemon water, and all. And those who suffer from BP, they can just keep a watch for some time, because there are few people who are a little salt sensitive. We don't know if those persons are salt sensitive. Then they need to keep a little watch. But however, we have seen that with low carbohydrate, even blood pressure goes off and people are able to get off pain. So this happens once you're on a good diet for next 3 to 6 months. Usually, I think beyond 6 months, people are just able to get off meds, except maybe a few population who find it a little difficult. Our experience says that maybe some 5-10% may be difficult. They may be maintained on a lower dose, but however, that's a totally different topic. Once we will have a different session on hypertension and low carb. Yeah, Jasmine. So having a lot of salt is very necessary.
So Anoopji, my next question is to you. This episode is particularly for weight loss issues. So I think we should suggest some type of exercises depending on the health goal, that is they want to reduce weight. The people you have to give some suggestions related with the physical work for the people who are struggling to shed their weight. So because there are different kind of exercise like the cardiovascular, intense training or weightlifting. So what would you prefer for weight loss? What time and how much they have to do?
Okay, easiest exercise is walking. ठीक है, वो आप खाने के बाद, और ये भी नहीं है कि आप सुबह उठ के 2 घंटे चल रहे हैं. You split your walk along with your meal. आपने खाना खाया और आधे घंटे 1 घंटे बाद जब I'm talking of diabetics, कि जब आपका sugar level is expected to increase, you just keep moving so that non-insulin mediated glucose uptake is there. पहला तो ये है. दूसरा जो मेरी फेवरेट है वो है स्टेयर क्लाइंबिंग. एवरीथिंग फिनिशेस इन लेस देन 10 मिनट्स आफ्टर अ मील, मैक्सिमम 10 मिनट्स. ठीक है, अब आप स्टेयर क्लाइंब करते हैं roughly around I would say 300 to 400 stairs. That is around 18 floors a day. पूरे दिन में आप डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर दीजिए, ये नहीं कि आपको एक ही साथ चढ़ना उतरना है. तीसरा ऑफ कोर्स इज बॉडी वेट की जो रिलेटेड एक्सरसाइज है ना, पुशअप हो गया, उठक बैठक हो गई, जहां आपको कोई इक्विपमेंट की जरूरत नहीं है. आप पूरा फुल पुशअप नहीं कर सकते हो, डू अ हाफ पुशअप अगेंस्ट अ वॉल.
वॉल पुशअप इज गुड.
हाँ, वॉल पुशअप कर लीजिए. लेडीज है किचन में, यू कैन डू काउंटर पुशअप. पूरा जरूरी नहीं है कि आप पूरे जमीन पे नीचे जाओ. ठीक है, बिकॉज सम पीपल मे नॉट बी एबल टू डू इट बिकॉज ऑफ शोल्डर प्रॉब्लम्स एंड अदर थिंग्स. और तीसरा ऑफ कोर्स, लास्ट ऑफ कोर्स, जो heavy weight lifting, but that is not for everyone, you know. And a word of caution is, a diabetic who is going into all this intense, you know, intense high intensity, especially weight related, they better go for an eye check, take a clearance from doctor before venturing into any such strenuous exercise. क्योंकि होता क्या है, आई यू नो रेटिनोपैथी के रिलेटेड कोई टेस्ट करवाता नहीं है, मे बी यू नो वंस इन 2 or 3 years वो रीडिंग ग्लास की पावर चेक करते हैं, वो सही है तो सब अज्यूम कर लेते हैं कि सही है. व्हाई आई एम सेइंग दिस इज, फोरम पे विनय राज, देयर इज हु हैज कम रिसेंटली अगेन, ही वाज ओवरली ओबीस, ठीक है, वेट तो कम हुआ, नंबर्स केम डाउन, डायबिटीज वाज अंडर कंट्रोल, देन ही गॉट ओवर एंथुसियास्टिक विद रिस्पेक्ट टू लीन बॉडी मास.
So we want to increase his muscle mass actually.
Yes. So उसमें क्या, he started heavy weightlifting and everything. He was doing pretty well until all of a sudden he literally turned blind. Literally. ठीक है. He visited a doctor. वहाँ पे I don't know how many surgeries he went through. Partial recovery है, and it was all because of PVR. P और V का मेरे को full form पता नहीं है. R का रेटिनोपैथी है, तो PVR का जो है वो अरुण सर या शशिकांत जी बता सकेंगे. Basically it is you know retinopathy related. So if there is any you know even a sign of it, I would say never lift heavy. ठीक है, आप सीढ़ी चढ़िए. अब विनय राज का ये हालत हो गया था कि इवन वॉकिंग, brisk walking was not allowed to him now. So you have to be very careful with respect to exercise as a diabetic. बाकी obese हैं, even them you know they should get it checked, because obese, as everyone knows, fasting insulin कोई देखता नहीं है, blood sugar वो 6.5 A1C है तो वो एकदम he is given a medal, he or she, but essentially if it is more than 5.6 you are a diabetic. If you are a diabetic, if you want to lift weight, please get your eyes checked, and of course get a clearance from your cardio. Once those two are clear, you do anything that you can.
There's a word of caution from my side, especially on bone and joint disorder, because many obese people, they will they obviously will have hyperinsulinemia and dysregulated blood sugar, and they will start running. So there's a possibility that in the background there could be osteoarthritis which is setting in, and they are going to accelerate the progress into OA. It is just like me. I mean, even I had osteoarthritis probably setting in from the background, and with diabetes in the background. I never knew. I was running for almost 1 year, and the moment I got diagnosed, it was okay. But then within 2-3 months, I started getting pain in my left knee, and then osteoarthritis was diagnosed. So there was a damage to the cartilage. So there's something which we never know what is happening in the background. So I think it's better to get some checkup. And I think what I see, the key thing is you lose some body weight and get the blood sugar under control before going for little drastic exercise like running or weightlifting. Walking is perfectly fine, and stair climbing is perfectly fine.
एकदम सिंपल, आप चेयर से उठ बैठ सकते हो, just be active.
दूसरा, you can keep rocking like me when on chair. I never sit very stable. वो होता है
पॉडकास्ट है, हमें खड़े होके करना चाहिए.
देखिए वो क्या है ना, एवरी ड्रॉप काउंट्स. आप कुछ भी मूवमेंट करोगे, इट विल ऐड ऑन टू योर होल डेज अकाउंटिंग.
One thing I would like to add, what Sasi is telling, that when you are overweight now, you are obese, so our knee is prepared for the normal, carrying normal weight. But if you are putting an abnormal weight to knee, so slowly knee will rupture, and ligament damage is very common in that case. So in that case, if you are running or if you are doing overdo the exercises and all, so your knee is going to further rupture, and you will certainly have osteoarthritis, and you will sit idle in the home. So better first reduce your weight, check your knees with the orthopedic surgeon, and then go for the such type of exercises. Yes, Anup.
Yeah. आपने नी का बोला ना, तो उस पर मेरे को ध्यान आया. देखिए, नाउ हियर द डिफरेंस इज देयर बिटवीन अ मेल एंड अ फीमेल ऑल्सो. ठीक है. अगर अगर हम बोलते हैं ना वॉकिंग, वॉकिंग, because because of the wider pelvic girdle, the knee joint of a male and a female, the angle at which the two bones meet is very different. इसीलिए आप देखोगे लेडीज को they complain more of knee pain and more of arthritis issues than men. So if a lady is heavy weight, as Arun sir said, पहले तो आप खाली खाने पीने से वजन कम करिए. ठीक है. डोंट स्टेप आउट एट 105 kg और 90 kg वेट कि अब मैं 4 घंटे चलूंगी. तो नो, प्लीज डोंट डू इट. गेट योर वेट. आपका टारगेट वेट जो है उसके 20% तक जब आ गया, देन यू कैन एंगेज इन ऑल दीज एक्स्ट्रा एक्टिविटीज. तो ये एक पॉइंट ऐड करना था.
So मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इसी से ही कनेक्टेड है, जैसे आपने ऑलरेडी मेंशन किया, बट स्टिल आई वुड लाइक टू ऐड समथिंग एल्स. सो प्लीज आप जैसे हम डेली लाइफ में क्या अपने स्मॉल चेंजेस अपनी लाइफ में कर सकते हैं जिससे हम अपना बेसल मेटाबॉलिक रेट बढ़ा सकते हैं. बिकॉज बीएमआर एक लोगों के दिमाग में बहुत ऐसा है कि अगर हमारा बीएमआर कम है इसीलिए हम वेट गेन कर रहे हैं. देयर इज सम रीजन बिहाइंड इट कि आपका बीएमआर कम क्यों है, बट क्या हम ऐसी स्मॉल चेंजेस अपनी लाइफ में लेके आ सकते हैं जिससे हम अपना नेचुरली थोड़ा बीएमआर बढ़ा सकते हैं, बेसल मेटाबॉलिक रेट बढ़ा सकते हैं. सो आई थिंक ऑल ऑफ यू कैन गिव सम सजेशंस.
Start with the Sasi.
Yeah. So see what happens is have a good amount of protein and fat itself is going to raise your BMR, because protein does have what is called as thermogenic effect. So this is what your body craves for, and if you have this, automatically it is going to increase. But what damages BMR is basically people going on a low calorie diet, because then body is very smart. It's going to conserve energy. So that's the issue. The people go on a low calorie diet, they stay hungry, they will do whatever, because some dietitian has told them to stay hungry, take 800 calories, 1200 calories diet. They are not satisfied, but they will still keep persisting on that, and somehow killing hunger, drinking water and all. So going ahead, it's going to actually cause a drop in your metabolic rate. And even having all this junk food itself is going to cause a drop in metabolic rate and probably more fat storage. So that's how. So I strongly believe that whatever we are designed to have, if you're going to have that fat protein, then absolutely there is no issue, and you are going to maintain whatever metabolic rate you're designed to have perfectly well. Yeah,
this is one of the main point I think that one should incorporate if you are looking to lose your weight. Because the diet is important. The calories are not important. This type of calories are important.
Yeah,
Correct.
Very much.
So I think because we all.
Yeah. Actually, I just wanted to add here that if you look to our ancestors, when the food was not available readily. Nowadays, you can just make a call and food is available to you. But remember those days, our ancestors who are not having, even recent past 200 years, 300 years back, food was not that available. So you have to gather the food, and then you have to, in the process of that, you have to starve also for that. So that is the reason the BMR, our BMR is reduced, because after the grains has come to in our diet, that is the main problem, reducing of the BMR. Carbohydrate high, protein is low, and fat is further low. Rest of the things, the new science has done that fat is bad. You just stay in protein for this limited quantity, otherwise you lose your kidney. You just increase your carbohydrate, grains that are healthy. These all causing a low BMR. Body metabolic rate. Our body is made for something different, and what we are doing is something different. So naturally, it has to impact on the BMR. So remember those days, our 2 million years back, 20 million years back, when our ancestors were running, hunting, gathering the berries and gathering fruits and all. So they don't have any problem on the BMR.
Yeah.
And even if you say 50 years, 60 years back, the photographs, none of them were the obese. All are lean and but energetic persons. So these are all things which we count when BMR is concerned. So basically, protein, fat will increase your BMR, carbohydrate will reduce your BMR. Then the processed food, the processed carbohydrate, refined carbohydrate is further causing the damage to our body. So best take out all this food from your plate, keep protein, high protein, first class protein, and saturated fat. This will increase your BMR. Yes, I
Basically,
think
lifestyle has, let us reduce our this BMR. Nowadays, our bodies are not metabolically flexible. We are not easily switching from one fuel to other fuel. So this is the main reason that our BMR reduce.
yes, Anup can add. Yeah.
I think it's
जैसा इसी पुराने एपिसोड में बोला था, BMR is lowest on a high carb low fat diet, lowest. उससे ज्यादा चलता है लो कार्ब हाई फैट डाइट में, और सबसे ज्यादा चलता है कीटोजेनिक डाइट में. ठीक है, आपको अगर BMR बढ़ाना है तो यू ग्रेजुअली ट्रांजिशन टू कीटो एंड ऑफ द लो कार्ब डाइट. अपने आप सब बढ़ जाएगा, आपको कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है, उसमें ऑब्वियसली प्रोटीन विल कम इन, क्योंकि आप कार्ब 40-50 लोगे कीटो पे, तो यू हैव टू गेट इन प्रोटीन एंड फैट. लो कार्ब पे थोड़ी फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है. तो ये है, डाइट कैन ऑल्सो इम्पैक्ट योर BMR.
तो अनूप जी, जैसे लास्ट एपिसोड में आपने मेंशन किया था कोल्ड थेरेपी के बारे में. सो आई वाज रीडिंग समथिंग रिलेटेड विद द कोल्ड थेरेपी. तो उन्होंने कोल्ड थेरेपी में ये बताया कि बेसिकली जब हम एकदम से ठंडे पानी में कहीं जाते हैं, जब हम शिवर करते हैं, तो दैट शिवरिंग रिलीज समथिंग कॉल्ड सुक्सिनेट इन आवर बॉडी. तो उसकी वजह से वो जो सुक्सिनेट है वो जाके हमारी जो वाइट फैट है या बेज फैट है उसको ब्राउन फैट में कन्वर्ट करने की टेंडेंसी रखता है, जिससे हमारा BMR बढ़ता है. आपने लास्ट टाइम मेंशन किया था, तो मैंने थोड़ा डिटेल देखा इसके बारे में कि ऐसा क्यों होता है. तो उन्होंने मेंशन किया कि कोल्ड थेरेपी जैसे शिवरिंग है, अगर आप फिजिटिंग मूवमेंट के बारे में उन्होंने मेंशन किया कि जो फिजिटिंग होती है, फिजिटिंग मूवमेंट्स, द सब्टल मूवमेंट्स, उसका भी इफेक्ट सेम होता है जो हम एक कोल्ड थेरेपी में जब हम ठंडे पानी से नहाते हैं, वो जो शिवरिंग होती है ना, तो हम सेम इफेक्ट अपनी डे टू डे लाइफ में ठंडे पानी से नहाए बिना भी ले सकते हैं. जैसे आपने भी, आप थोड़ा डिटेल में बताएंगे व्यूअर्स को इसके बारे में.
जैसे देखिए, मेरी आदत है, आई स्पेंड अराउंड 8 hours ऑन चेयर. तो आई मस्ट से अराउंड 50-60% ऑफ द टाइम इनवॉलंटरली जो है, आई शेक माई लेग्स. ठीक है, दैट इज ऑलमोस्ट लाइक व्हेन यू आर शिवरिंग. अभी आप देखोगे कि कितने भी एपिसोड देखोगे, आई कीप रॉकिंग ऑन चेयर, आई डोंट सिट स्टेबल.
को नोट करना, ऐसे करना, कुछ भी करना.
यस, और इसके लिए अभी फोरम पे भी पोस्टेड है, आई थिंक देखिए, जो इंडस्ट्री है ना, वो हर चीज पे दे लुक एट मॉनेटरी एंगल. ठीक है, अभी फिजिटिंग मूवमेंट के लिए नाउ देयर इज सम स्टडी ऑन योर वर्किंग डेस्क देयर शुड बी अ पेडल. ठीक है, आप पेडल करते रहो तो, और काम करते रहो, तो उससे भी आपका एवरीथिंग इम्प्रूव्स. अब यही चीज आप पेडल बोल रहे हैं, मैं बोल रहा शेक योर लेग्स.
शेकिंग आप ज्यादा नहीं कर सकते, बहुत आपकी कैलोरीज बर्न होती हैं इससे, अगर आप लेग्स को कंटिन्यूअसली शेक करते रहो.
यस, 10 मिनट्स आप 1 घंटे में कर लो, आपको चलने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है, एंड इट कम्स इनवॉलंटरीली. ये नहीं कि आपको घड़ी देख के करना है, आप पीछे खस के पैर अपने आप हिलता है, फिर काम किया, वापस काम पे लग गए.
एक्चुअली वो स्टडी हुआ है, उन्होंने वहां पे मेंशन किया है कि जैसे जो लोग अपना बहुत सेडेंटरी लाइफस्टाइल है, जो लोगों का ऐसा हैबिट है कि वो बैठे बैठे बहुत मूव करते हैं, जैसे हेड को नोट करना, अपने ऐसे ऐसे किसी तरह ऐसे शेक करते रहना, तो उनका जो कैलोरी उन्होंने देखा कि पर डे 800 से लेके अराउंड 2000 कैलोरीज पर डे तक वो आप देख सकते हैं, इतना बर्न हो सकता है जस्ट दिस सब्टल मूवमेंट से.
यस, तो इसीलिए बोलते हैं ना कि आप एवरी ड्रॉप काउंट्स. मेरा कहने का जो है तात्पर्य जो है, एवरी ड्रॉप काउंट्स. आप 4 बार पानी भी पी रहे हो बैठे बैठे, ठीक है, आप दिन में 2 बार कपड़े बदल रहे हो, इवन दैट काउंट्स. आज ही शायद ट्विटर पे किसी ने पोस्ट किया है, सम स्विमर स्विमिंग एट 0 डिग्री और सम फॉर 10 मिनट्स. उस पर शायद प्रोफेसर नॉइक्स का भी कुछ कमेंट था. आई cannot recall exactly. But yes, cold therapy is best therapy. आप गीजर मत रखिए घर में, बिजली का बिल भी कम होगा और तंदुरुस्त भी रहेंगे. ठीक है.
लेकिन बट एक चीज उन्होंने वो भी मेंशन किया कि ऐसा नहीं है कि आप ठंडे पानी से रोज नहाएं. इससे क्या हुआ कि आप कोल्ड अडेप्टेड हो जाएंगे. अगर आप एक बार अडेप्ट हो गए, वो शिवरिंग होना इंपॉर्टेंट है.
नहीं तो शिवरिंग वही बोला ना, जस्ट शिवरिंग व्हेन शिवरिंग स्टॉप्स, ठीक है, दैट इज द मोस्ट आइडियल स्टेट ऑफ हेल्थ फॉर यू, फॉर एन एडल्ट. बच्चे तो नहीं शिवर करेंगे, लेकिन हम आप अगर शिवर करना बंद कर देंगे पानी, ठंडे पानी के नीचे, दैट इज द मोस्ट आइडियल स्टेज. आप उससे ज्यादा फिर आपको करना कुछ नहीं, बस वो आप ठंडे पानी पे नहाइए, दिन में 1-2 बार चलेगा. सॉरी, एक दिन या 2 दिन में एक बार जो है.
When your shivering is stopped, that clearly indicates that you are having low white adipose tissues and more you have the brown, or you can say the beige tissues. So that will resist to the, this cold, and that's why you will stop shivering if you go continuously going for the cold water bath.
And I think if you see children's, they have more of brown adipose tissue. That's why they will not shiver. So children are not able to express cold, sense of cold. So it's just when the parents feel cold, they will automatically, they're going to put more clothes on the kid. But they have a lot of brown adipose tissue. And as I expressed earlier also in this group, that the best way to do is, if someone wants little warm bath, they can just take in a shower, take warm bath. And once you finish, just slowly change it to cold. So you'll not feel that extreme cold also, and just enjoy that cold topping is just like a dessert. So you'll be able to bear that cold water. And if you do this continuously over a period of time, you'll develop some tolerance to that cold water also.
At least they should do it 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah, you can just go and do daily also. And if you do this, this is one simple, easy way. It's a easy hacking way. Let me say that you can have a cold water bath. So if you have a shower, go ahead and use this small trick.
Heart patients के लिए disclaimer है, they should
we should mention. कितना पानी कितना ठंडा होना चाहिए, बहुत ठंडे में भी एकदम नहीं जाना चाहिए इतना. I think you should mention some precautions.
You know, heart patient should not do a plunge in ice cold water. जो बोलते हैं swimming pool में है, ठंडी का मौसम है, and they are a heart patient, they should not just plunge into it. बाकी हम आप कर सकते हैं, because there is a involuntary again reflex action की थोड़ी सांस रुकती है. ठीक है, जब आप अंदर जाते हो पूल में, तो हार्ट पेशेंट शुड बी केयरफुल. बाकी हमारे आपके लिए जो नॉर्मल है, they can, you know, even if it is swimming pool, slowly you can take a dip. पहले आप आधी बॉडी गई, पैर गया, कमर गई, then you take a dip.
One more warning for the, not only for heart patient, for general also, that if you put water, cold water on your head, there is all chances that you will get a stroke. You have very high chances, particularly the elders. So in our Ayurveda or in our Hindu mythology also, it starts that if you're taking bath, first put water on the lower limbs and then gradually go up, and lastly on the head. So if you are taking shower bath with the cold water, then this is a problem for the elders. So I won't recommend cold water bath in shower. Take with your bucket and mug.
Yes,
that is
best.
That is best. Okay.
So much, Arun ji. Thank you so much, Shashi, Anup ji. So last question, I think, for this is about supplements. I think we must mention something about the supplements, because market में बहुत supplement आते हैं weight loss के. So कौन-कौन से supplements हैं जो helpful हैं, लेने चाहिए या नहीं लेने चाहिए?
कौन start करे, शशि?
Yeah, I can start. कौन सा लेना चाहिए छोड़िए, कौन सा नहीं लेना चाहिए, that I will tell you. all those keto, so-called keto supplements which are available, and they say that it will help in weight loss by generating ketones and all. It is just, sorry to say, it is absolutely trash, and many of them could be just dangerous. We don't know what contains, and in fact some of them are called what is called as Garcinia cambogia extracts, which are available and which is not likely to work to any extent. Some controlled trials have shown that it is working to a small extent, but practically it is not going to work, because we are not taking care of the root cause. The root cause is what goes inside, that we are not taking care. And if you are going to have this supplement, it is just not going to work. and it can be dangerous also, because there are a few published case studies which are available, which have shown that these kind of supplements are dangerous. And some of them, like International Journal of Hepatology, also it's mentioned that, I don't want to name the supplement, unfortunately, because these are all brand names which I don't want to mention. Acute liver injuries. So some of the supplement, no, and absolutely those which shows with the name of keto supplements for weight loss are just not going to work. You will lose some money, and those manufacturers will be laughing all the way to the bank. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you,
Actually,
Shashi.
Shashi is very correct. No supplement will work to lose your weight unless until you go for the low carb, high fat diet with the protein. No supplement will work. This is a fact. But certain supplements can help you, like N-acetylcysteine will help you to remove toxins from your liver. Because when you are obese, your liver is of toxicity is also there. So that will reduce the toxicity from your liver. Otherwise, no supplement is meant for reducing the, obesity. Yes, Anup, you can add anything?
हाँ सर, मेरा तो वही था जो अपना शुरू में अपन वी स्टार्टेड डिस्कशन ना अबाउट HGH. ठीक है, तो एनी सप्लीमेंट, नॉट अ बकेट फुल ऑफ इट, any supplement in a controlled amount, maybe one, not more than one, that helps in increasing HGH. ठीक है, अब जैसे we normally recommend ashwagandha. Why? Because of for a nice sound sleep. ठीक है, और जो शशि ने नाम बोला, I keep forgetting all these Latin names and Greek names. उसका हिमालय हर्बल का एक I have tried for my wife, and for 6 months, not even 1 gram of weight loss, not even 1 gram. So it does not work. बाकी जो है वो शशि एंड अरुण सर कैन टेल, arginine, GABA, melatonin, glutamine, creatine and glycine. इसके बारे में they too are masters, so they can tell. But essentially, whatever helps to increase your HGH or improve your sound, improve your sleep quality. बस, इससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है. इससे ज़्यादा वो कीटो सप्लीमेंट वगैरह, देयर ऑल ट्रैश. बाकी जो ये मेलेटोनिन और ये सब है, इवन मेलेटोनिन आप पिस्ता में मिल जाएगा, आपको वो भी खाने की जरूरत नहीं है.
If you are the low carb and doing lot of exercises, then your sleep will be automatically, you have a sound sleep.
Yes.
But if you are loaded with the carbohydrate at 11 o'clock in the night and you are going to sleep, your sleep will be never sound. You will not have a good sleep all night. So try to have your dinner, say about 7:30, go to bed by 10:30, and have a good sleep till 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, whenever you want. It is not necessary that 8 hours is must. If you have sound sleep for 7 hours also, that is sufficient. It is sufficient. So sound sleep is must. No supplement will work, but 1 or 2 supplement, as Mr. Anup is also told me, and NSE what I told, that will clear the toxicity from the liver. That will not reduce your obesity, but that is health. That is the only. Otherwise, HGH will, human growth hormones will improve only when you have a sound sleep. That's true. Okay, Jasmine.
Yeah, and a word about this detox. Someone actually in Twitter, they asked me about detox. I told the person that the best detox is to go on fasting. Otherwise, the kind of detox which is available, it is not going to work in any way, and with the possibility of having some downsides. So the best detox which you can have is go and do 24 to 36 hour fasting or 42 or 2 days fasting. Best detox.
एक liver detox है ना, वो orange juice with olive oil, है ना? They say gallstones will come out.
That is a different one. I'm not going on that, but people generally go into this standard detox which is available, Karela juice and all. See, detox, what is detox? Is taking out toxins. How you can eat something and take out toxin? It's all very difficult. There is a possibility there could be few supplements who claim that it can actually detox. Like you have this, I forgot a couple of herbal stuff which is available, which claim, but I really don't know. But I think detox, the best way is to go on fasting, and it is body is just going to burn the fat cell, and a lot of toxins are actually stored in the fat cell.
The
So
fat.
when we do fasting, when you go on a low carb diet, and when the fat cells squeeze, there a lot of toxins will actually come out. So the best way to detox is to go on a low carb diet and is to do fasting. That's all.
Yes, because initial में हमारा बहुत water loss होता है, तो सारा हमारा toxins जितना भी fat में से release होगा सब निकल जाएगा.
That is true.
I endorse Sasi's views about Karela juice because Sasi was on Karela juice. I remember.
Yeah, 1 year.
1 year continuously.
Not even 1 year, 8 months. I stopped everything. All this, I felt it was a little nonsense. I stopped everything.
So better to eat Karela rather than this Karela juice.
You can have,
Karela,
yeah, you can have
Karela, vegetable you can have Karela. Actually, problem with the Karela juice, na, because it contains oxalate also. And when you are taking oxalate, there is a fair chance of having the kidney stones. So better avoid Karela juice or anything like this. Have Karela sabji, have Karela dry sabji or whatever it is, but not the juice.
So I think हमने सारे different aspects जो हैं सारे cover किए हैं इसमें, like starting from the diet. So if you adapt the low carb, high fat diet with the adequate amount of protein, that will help you balance all your hormones, all your satiety hormones, your hunger hormone, and the main fat storing hormone. So उसके बाद हमने डिस्कस किया, अनूप जी ने काफी डिटेल में बताया कि growth hormone, how one can naturally increase the growth hormone. So good quality sleep is important for that, and intermittent fasting, if you add later on after you shift to the low carb high fat diet, then you can gradually add the intermittent fasting, and if we naturally increase the growth hormone, that will help us with the weight loss. And then we also covered the exercise part, and that is also important कि हाँ calories, so calories are not important, कैसी calories में क्या खा रहे हो आप, that is important. So we in the last episode also we discussed कि why this calorie balance equation fails, because in that the metabolism part is completely missing. So we also covered I think supplement part, and one thing is left. I think Anup Singh, you can mention any success story on D-Life. Like बहुत सारी सक्सेस स्टोरी हैं जिन्होंने ऑलमोस्ट सबने ही बहुत वेट रिड्यूस किए, चाहे वो डायबिटिक हैं, ओवरवेट नहीं थे, बट स्टिल दे गॉट हेल्दी, दे गॉट लीन, उन्होंने अपना काफी मसल मास इंक्रीज किया है, चाहे वो पहले थे इतना ओबीस नहीं थे. प्लीज आप कोई भी एक सक्सेस स्टोरी मेंशन करें.
जसप्रीत जी, ऐसा है, फ्रंट एंड पे एक आर्टिकल पोस्टेड है जहाँ पे हमने लो कार्ब हाई फैट, वी हैव कंपेयर्ड द रिजल्ट्स विद वीगन नॉनसेंस. ठीक है, वो बर्नार्ड की स्टडी से कंपैरिजन किया तो 50 लोगों का जो डेटा था, एवरेज वेट लॉस वाज अराउंड 11 kg. 50 में 48 वर डायबिटिक्स, 2 आई थिंक वर ओबीस, जस्ट ओबीस. नाउ इफ यू टॉक ऑफ रिकॉर्ड, जो हाईएस्ट वेट लॉस है दैट इज फ्रॉम आई थिंक 117.5 kg, he came down to 78 kg. Now जैसा हम लोग बार बार अंडरलाइन करते हैं, वी आर नॉट लुकिंग फॉर अ 6 kg पर मंथ और 5 kg पर मंथ वेट लॉस. नो, नेवर एट ऑल. हमारा जो है आइडियल वेट लॉस का जो व्हाट वी से इज आइडियल, सस्टेनेबल एंड डूएबल इज 2 kg पर मंथ. ठीक है, अगर आप 40 किलो ओवरवेट हो, यस यू कैन डू इट विद इन मे बी 18 months or 20 months. But don't aim for doing it in 6 months. ठीक है, उससे नुकसान ज्यादा होगा, फायदा कम होगा. तो 40 kg, roughly 40 kg is the record weight loss. बाकी उससे नीचे 36 एक है, 20, 25. I mean these it's a effortless weight loss basically, जहाँ हम वेट पे फोकस नहीं करते, हम डाइट पे फोकस कर रहे हैं, वेट अपने आप कम होता है.
फोकस करते हैं बेसिकली, हम हेल्थ कैसे इंप्रूव हो रहा है तो वेट अपने आप रिड्यूस होता है.
यस.
तो जैसे एक्चुअली मैंने काफी एक दो लोगों की रिपोर्ट देखी, उनके जो डॉक्टर्स है ना, ट्राइग्लिसराइड को बिल्कुल इग्नोर करते हैं. अगर आपका ट्राइग्लिसराइड 170, 180, 200 तक है, दे जस्ट इग्नोर बस, बट दे जस्ट कंसंट्रेट, दे फोकस ओनली ऑन एलडीएल पार्ट. हमारे जैसे डी लाइफ में बहुत सारे केसेस हैं. आई थिंक ट्राइग्लिसराइड लोगों को पता होना चाहिए कि तब रिड्यूस होगा जब वो अपने आइडियल बॉडी वेट पे आ जाएंगे.
Yes.
दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट.
See, even when you are losing weight,
देख सकते हो.
even when you are losing weight, your lipids are comped off. आप देखेगा, आपको हो सकता है ट्राइग्लिसराइड बहुत बढ़ गई, ठीक है, तो हम बोलते हैं ठीक है आप चलने दो. And usually that is why during weight loss phase we say you don't check your lipids at all. क्योंकि देखिए आप वो चेक करके आएगा, चेक करेगा, मान लीजिए ट्राइग्लिसराइड 200 है, एलडीएल 190-80 है, वो 25 डॉक्टर को पहले दिखाएगा, ठीक है. अब वो डॉक्टर को दिखाएगा, डॉक्टर ओनली फोकसेस ऑन वन थिंग, एलडीएल एंड स्टैटिन. देन वी हैव टू वेस्ट टाइम कन्विंसिंग देम कि नहीं बाबा यू प्लीज इग्नोर दिस, ठीक है, till the time you have reached your near about target weight, then we will look at lipids and everything else.
They focus just on two things, either the total cholesterol and LDL. टोटल कोलेस्ट्रॉल बोलते हैं नीचे आ जाए 100 आ जाए बहुत खुश हो जाएंगे, अगर 100 आ गया 150 आ गया, 200 से ऊपर चला जाए तो टेंशन हो जाती है.
वो दो रेशियो शायद इंपॉर्टेंट है, एक ट्राइग्लिसराइड बाय एचडीएल, ठीक है. As far as cardiac events are concerned, वो शशि अरुण सर ज्यादा बता पाएंगे. And second of course is total cholesterol by HD, total cholesterol by HDL something.
HDL ही है वो.
हाँ वो फार्मिंगम स्टडी क्या क्या है, तो आई थिंक ये एवर कमिंस ने भी इस पे कमेंट किया था. टोटल कोलेस्ट्रॉल बाय एचडीएल इज अ फार स्ट्रॉन्गर इंडिकेटर वर्सेस जस्ट द एलडीएल, ठीक है. उससे भी ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्गर है ट्राइग्लिसराइड बाय एचडीएल. ये दो नंबर्स रेशियो देखिए, बाकी सब आप छोड़ दीजिए. अब 180-190 एलडीएल है तो एलडीएल इज नॉट बैड, ऑक्सीडाइज्ड एलडीएल इज बैड. ऑक्सीडाइज्ड एलडीएल वही होगा व्हेन एलडीएल इज वो पैटर्न बी बोलते हैं शायद. पैटर्न ए इज लार्ज एंड फ्लफी, पैटर्न बी इज स्मॉल एंड डेंस, एसडीएलडीएल जो बोलते हैं जिसको, है ना, that is more prone to oxidation and all the damage that it causes.
It has been seen that those persons who are having the high HDL, their LDL, even if it is higher, they are the large fluffy LDL. So that is not going to cause harm. Second thing, as Mr. Anup was telling, that non-HDL cholesterol is, if you compare with the HDL, is the problematic. As Ivor Cummins also I have seen on the Twitter. But the most important is after that, triglyceride and HDL ratio is the most important. Better you keep under 1. If not under 1, then must be under 2. Not more than that. If it is going more than that, then chances of the CVD, chances of the insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, all are there, even hypertension. So best is to judge the triglyceride versus HDL ratio. That is the best marker. And world over, I think most of the authorities, those who are on the low carb, are considering this the benchmark for the insulin resistance. We are also considering that the benchmark for the insulin resistance. Okay, Jason.
Thank you, Arunji. Thank you, Shashiji. Thank you, Anup Singh. I think with this we can now wind up our session for today.
Yeah. Any question if you have?
From our viewers, anything related with obesity or diabetes or low carb, you can ask any question.
I have unmuted. I mean, I have given the option to unmute, so people can unmute and ask if they have any question.
No question coming.
Fine, no question coming, so we can.
Everything, so no question from the viewers side. I think.
Hello. We can wind, yeah.
सर जैसे अभी कोरिलेट करा आपने हाई कोलेस्ट्रॉल लेवल में भी फिनोफाइब्रेट बढ़ा हुआ है और ट्राइग्लिसराइड बढ़ा हुआ है जिसमें, और आप कोरिलेट कर रहे हैं कि उसमें अपन को मार्कर में देखना है एचडीएल, तो क्या कंपेयर करना सर इन दोनों में?
नहीं प्रवीण, क्या करना है उसमें कि we will have to see triglyceride upon HDL ratio typically, ठीक है? अगर triglyceride ज्यादा है, that means we are heading for what is called as diabetes, because your fat cells are overflowing. ठीक है।
Okay.
ट्राइग्लिसराइड अपॉन HDL एनीथिंग अबाउट 2 मतलब इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंस है उस पर्सन में,
जी
ठीक है। सो जनरली यही इशू है। एंड व्हेन ट्राइग्लिसराइड्स आर मोर, दैट मीन जो LDL प्रेजेंट है दैट विल बी टिपिकली स्मॉल डेंस LDL और ऑक्सीडाइज LDL होगा वो सब।
ओके
एंड जब ट्राइग्लिसराइड कम है देन दैट LDL विल बी इवन थोड़ा ज्यादा भी रहेगा तो इट इज जनरली दैट लार्ज फ्लफी LDL व्हिच इज बिनाइन, मतलब इट विल नॉट कॉज एनी हार्म,
ओके
वैसा है। सो जैसा मेरा अर्लियर रिपोर्ट देखेगा तो ट्राइग्लिसराइड वाज ओनली 90 whereas LDL was 179 and 189 था, total cholesterol 149. so generally if TG remains less that means these are all harmless है, but then अगर ट्राइग्लिसराइड भी ज्यादा है then ये भी ज्यादा है, मतलब there is an issue, ठीक है।
नहीं सर, इसमें दो चीजें हैं, जैसे इसमें जो HDL देखा जाता है वो तकरीबन 40 के आसपास नॉर्मल रेंज जैसा, 40 टू अबव, और ट्राइग्लिसराइड मोस्टली कई बार क्या होता है लोगों को बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ा देता है, बट HDL लेवल उनका करेक्ट है, तो उसमें चांसेस हैं कि डायबिटीज होने के चांसेस, इसका फिनोफाइब्रेट मतलब आपका ट्राइग्लिसराइड बढ़ा हुआ है।
हाँ, तो
उसमें ऐसा है कि आप ये स्टैंडर्ड मत मानिए, डोंट गो विद द लैब स्टैंडर्ड्स। लैब का स्टैंडर्ड तो ट्राइग्लिसराइड अगर आपका, हम लोग मान के चलते हैं कि HDL और ट्राइग्लिसराइड का रेशियो, HDL अगर 40 है और अगर आपका ट्राइग्लिसराइड सपोज 60 है तो ठीक है, ये एक्सेप्टेबल है। बट HDL अगर 40 है और आपका ट्राइग्लिसराइड 150 है और 100 इवन 20 है, 100 से अबव है, दैट मीन्स योर रेशियो इज मोर देन 2 एंड दैट क्लियरली इंडिकेट्स कि आपको ऑलरेडी इंसुलिन रेसिस्टेंस हो चुका है। अब आपको डायबिटीज नहीं हो इसके लिए आपको कॉशियस होना, वो आपको इंडिकेशन है। HDL का हाँ, HDL आप जैसे HDL जैसे लोग का HDL है, मेरा HDL 87 है, मेरा ट्राइग्लिसराइड 77 है, तो आप ठीक है उतना नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन इतना तो कर सकते हैं कि HDL को बढ़ाइए। HDL कैसे बढ़ेगा? आई थिंक वी हैव डिस्कस मेनी टाइम्स, और बेस्ट इज द सैचुरेटेड फैट्स, नट्स, और आप अगर VCO लेते हैं, हमारा अपना प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस है, इफ यू आर टेकिंग VCO 10 ml,
मतलब कोकोनट ऑयल,
हाँ कोकोनट ऑयल, सॉरी, तो कोकोनट ऑयल अगर आप लेते हैं 10 ml करके दिन में 3 बार या 4 बार, बिफोर मील और आफ्टर मील, जब भी आपको सूट करता है, तो आपका बहुत तेजी से HDL बढ़ेगा। विद इन 1 और 2 मंथ्स में आपका HDL बढ़ेगा। और ट्राइग्लिसराइड घटाने का सिंपल है, कार्बोहाइड्रेट कम कर दीजिए।
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू।
प्रवीण जी ऐसा है
our standard lipid panel report ना, if you see for all Indians, सभी का HDL दबा रहेगा, it will be around 33 to 35 standard usually,
सही बात है,
और ट्राइग्लिसराइड will be 150 and above, तो तुम भी देख चुका है सब स्टैंडर्ड, ठीक है, almost in everyone, so it is very unfortunate, and कोई ये सब recognize नहीं करता है, सब लोग सिर्फ LDL देखता है। बट इसमें एक और डेंजरस है, I have seen certain report जहाँ ट्राइग्लिसराइड is 200 250 रहता है, HDL 30 33 रहता है, and then even LDL is very raised in that case 170 180 90, ये भी मैं देख चुका हूँ। मतलब these people are, you know, they are a terrible risk for heart disease, absolutely. Yeah, अनूप सिंह आपको बोला,
जैसे अरुण जी ने मेंशन किया कि यू ऐड सैचुरेटेड फैट, गुड फैट ऐड करो, आपका HDL बढ़ जाएगा। हाँ, लेकिन HDL बढ़ाओगे तो साथ में ट्राइग्लिसराइड मत बढ़ाना कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स खा के, क्योंकि अगर दोनों बढ़ेंगे साथ साथ तो रेशियो आपका नहीं चेंज होगा। ट्राइग्लिसराइड को कम करना पड़ेगा, लो कार्ब तो लेना पड़ेगा।
बात वहीं पे आ गई, रोटी के दोनों तरफ बटर लगा के लो कार्ब मत बोलो।
सैचुरेटेड फैट अगर लेना है तो पहले कार्ब्स कम करो।
ठीक है, एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
So I think there is no more question.
So we can wind up.
Okay. So thank you so much, all the experts, for your time, and I hope that we will come up with a new episode with a new topic, some interesting things for our viewers related with the metabolic disorders. So thank you, viewers, for joining us. So hope we can meet again. See you all again for the next session. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone.